It's May 2017 and I'm touring the Oregon coast as part of my exploration into overlanding in the USA. This is my final week where I'll be spending time exploring a private four-wheel drive trail, the coastal belt of Oregon, and concluding all the way down in Arizona at the Overland Expo West, held every year there. My trip has already taken me to Seattle, the woodlands of Washington, the Oregon backcountry route,
catching snow,
a plane crash site, and the majestic coastal redwood forests.
Woken in a little campsite near a town called Brookings on the Oregon coast. It's from here that we're going to spend the next 3 days exploring the area. The area is so diverse that we don't actually need to drive anywhere. We can just... This is a lovely little campsite. In fact, it's out of season. Midweek, we're the only ones here, which is really quite nice. We're going to do some wild camping in the area, and everywhere we're going to visit from now on is within 30 minutes of the town of Brookings. We've been given access, I feel quite privileged really, to some tribal land on which there is a breeding herd of bison. There is also a lot of elk on the property. There's the sea. Time to tell you a little bit about the vehicle that I've been driving. This is the Lexus GX470. It has full-time four-wheel drive with a center viscous coupling transmission that can be locked at any time and at any speed, which is very nice. It also has a number of electronic safety devices such as stability control. Again, when you put it in four-wheel drive, it automatically turns off the stability control. But is it a Land Cruiser? Well, in name, no. But in terms of its mechanical build, yes it is, because it's a Land Cruiser Prado 120 with lots of fancy bits added and sold in the United States as a Lexus. Underneath, it's the same. Its underpinnings are almost identical to an FJ Cruiser. That's a Land Cruiser. I know something about it, not a lot, but in Japan, in the factory, when they decide something is going to carry the name Land Cruiser, it has to meet certain specifications, requirements in terms of its engineering, its strength. This does. So for example, comparing this to a similar sized four-wheel drive like a Fortuner, that doesn't. It doesn't have near the mechanical strength and, well, as far as we're concerned, suitability for really tough off-roading than any Land Cruiser does. This is a Land Cruiser, which means that in the United States you've actually got the replacement to the 80 series. 80 series Land Cruiser was sold in this country in quite large numbers, not compared to Fords and things like that, but there are plenty around, but they're all getting old in the tooth, and they've almost all of them got over 300,000 miles on them. These are available for their mama's shoppers cars. It's going to cost a little bit of money to remove the air suspension and some of the stuff underneath that you really don't want, but not a lot. And you've got a dinkum off-roader. It's a good off-road machine. It can carry a good load once you've upgraded the suspension. There's space in the back. It's suitable. You can put roof racks on, and you can equip it. I think this is a great looking truck. This is the new 80 series for the US. How about that for a statement from a visitor? I think I'm right. I really do think I'm right.
Notwithstanding the fact that our Lexus 470 delivered 10 miles per gallon. That actually disqualifies it from being an effective overland vehicle. It just doesn't have the payload to carry enough fuel.
The company that supplied it to us is Metal Tech, of Oregon. I'm very grateful to them for loaning us the vehicle. They specialize in metalwork, and as you can see by this bumper, it looks good. And in fact, I've even tried it out. Yesterday we took a small drive onto the beach. The cameras weren't running, the sun was in my face, I could not see anything. We had to traverse a very, very narrow track to get onto the beach. It was so windy I didn't turn on cameras, and I drove into a tree. I don't do that kind of thing a lot, and I hit it right here. No effect at all. And when the thump happened, and it was a big one, I just thought, hey, no, don't damage vehicles when you borrow them. This is the back bumper, and I think you'd agree with me. It certainly looks good. The gas strut makes sure it opens easily and stays open. The pin, this guy here, makes sure that it stays open.
It's more than obvious that this has been copied from a South African design, and they've copied one of the really bad bits of almost all South African wheel carriers.
And also makes sure that it's very difficult to close, and you have to have two hands to close it. You cannot close it with one hand with that pin. So what is the pin doing? Keeping it open? No, the strut is keeping it open. This latch here. Now this is quite cleverly designed. The way I've done it is that if I clamp it on there, you'll see that it pulls it in and it pulls it down. And the great part about these, the system, is that they can be fine-tuned to have exactly the right pressure. This is an excellent device. When you've got a double door carrier, well, you've got two sources of annoyance, and etc., etc. So the idea of a single carrier carrying two items, I think, is a very good one and a clever idea. In terms of strength, who knows? I've heard that on the routes in Australia, like the Canning stock route, even the good ones, even the best ones, can lose a spare wheel. This stuff can fall apart, crack and break and fall apart. So in terms of strength of this design, I don't know. But my gut feel tells me that the way this has been engineered is good.
Please. We're on a game drive. That's what it is.
There are bison in the woods here. Let's see if I can get a bit closer to them. I feel as if I'm kind of at a turning point in the history of overlanding in the USA. I'm at a bison ranch. It's a private land. It's about 400 acres, very close to the Oregon-California border. And they are creating here, and they've asked for my assistance, and I'm gladly giving it, to set up a purpose-designed overlanders campsite. So what is that? For me, overlanding means being on my own. I don't need facilities. I'm carrying them in my vehicle. I don't want other people around. But what I do want is an exquisite place to set up my camp. Well, this is it. There are bison, there are elk here. The views are beyond description. What they're doing here is actually setting up the very first purpose-designed campsite for overlanders in North America. And as a result of that, I think that they're going to be copied quite a bit. Now, this particular spot is very close to the Oregon-California border, right on the coast, and in the center of a very busy tourist area. So there's lots to do in the area. But how do you get away from the crowds? You come to a place like this. There are going to be very few facilities. In fact, none really to speak of. It's mainly firewood. That's about it. Designated campsites. The best part about it is that because they are limiting the number of campsites on the land, the chances of you actually seeing your neighbor are not very high at all. You may not see anybody while camping here. And all you will hear are the trees. Now that to me is the magic of overlanding. On the ranch, there are a number of campsites already laid out and several more being planned. They range from open plains, incredible vistas, to absolutely natural virgin forest. There's not that much of this left in this part of the country. It's absolutely gorgeous.
People know about salmon berries, which is a really nice berry that grows, and we're almost in season. You can see them right above us here. Right here above us. They're an orange berry, and they're fantastic. They're really good. But what people don't know is that the sprouts they grow from, before they turn into a hard surface, the top of the sprout is edible. So once you peel back the stickers, the inside is a very sweet, full of sugar, natural sugar stalk. And it's, I don't know, I think it's better than the berry itself. Very few people know that you can actually eat the stalk that comes up out of the tree.
So you want me to eat this now?
Yeah, you need to eat it.
Tastes like a stalk.
It's prime, but what you want is something soft.
There's nothing more natural than that.
I kind of
Take a
lose
little
my
bite.
vegetarian status if I didn't eat it.
Yeah, you have
right?
to eat it now, and you're going to really like it, actually.
It smells
The
like plant.
aftertaste gets a little getting used to, but once you're used to it, I kind of like
It's
it.
very sweet. I eat it. I love it. It's my favorite.
Actually, I go after those
I
more
could
than I do
actually
the
just like
berries
eat that in a
themselves.
salad.
I know. I've made salads with this.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
Not bad at all. But it does have a very sweet aftertaste.
It's very planty, but it's very natural, and it's really good for you. And all those nutrients going into the bushes turn into, this is what they start out at.
It's rather stalkish.
I love it. Very few people even know about this, even around here.
With time fast running out, we've decided to spend our final night in the area on one of the mountain rivers. But believe it or not, this mountain river is only about 20 miles from the coast.
We got lucky once again. This is a popular spot for campers, and upstream there are even some big RVs parked next to the river. We drove up as far as the road will take us, and we're lucky enough, being out of season and midweek, still nobody camped on this piece of beach. So this is where we're going to spend our night. And first thing, actually Kate noticed it, in the water right next to the bank, dozens of these beautiful red salamanders, and they are part of what keeps these river systems so clean. They eat all of the insect larvae and probably other things too, but they are the most enchanting little creatures, and there are dozens of them. They're pinkish in color all the way along the bank of the river.
My daughter Kate has accompanied me on many of my major expeditions, and I've noticed that she has an extraordinary ability to make wild animals feel unthreatened. Just a few days ago, she found this little guy.
It's just a lizard. They just call them that because they have spiky backs.
Yeah.
That's why they're called a horny toad, which I'm pretty sure that's what that is.
We've been spending the last 3 or 4 days quite close to the Oregon coast, waiting for an opportunity to get onto the beach and photograph the wonderful driftwood, the sand, the beauty that is the Oregon coast that I've heard so much about. But we've run out of time. The wind has been blowing ceaselessly since we arrived, and we have to now leave. However, I'm going to leave you with some astonishing aerial drone shots shot by my friend Jeramey, so you will get an idea of what we've missed.
It's time to say goodbye to the Northwest as we head on the 1,100-mile journey to Flagstaff, Arizona. In the next episode will be my conclusion and report from Overland Expo West. See you there.